It's the Wapato Point Resort Show.
Good to see you again. I'm happy to be here. Hope you're happy that you decided to spend the next hour with me and the NCW Live channel. This is Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. 14th day of September, 2023. It is a Thursday, and it is a jam-packed Thursday. We got a lot of things to get to. The scenario happens occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally. We have 5 pounds worth of programming this morning, and we only got a 4-pound bag to put it in, but we're going to cram the bag full of news, weather, sports, and pause for pets. It's Thursday. Henley the dog needs a home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And Cancer Care of NCW celebrates their 30th anniversary. Not only this year, but specifically this Saturday. They're having a big wing ding. They're having a big party down there at the Pybus Public Market. They're going to have a program with some celebrity guest speakers. There's going to be a fundraising walk, all of it to help out the folks at Cancer Care of NCW. And of course, they also run Our House, that fine facility on Castle Rock, where people who are dealing with fighting the big cancer, they have a place to stay and to have emotional support and comfort while they're going through their treatment. They can stay at Our House and deal with the good folks there, because there's a lot of passion and caring in that group. But don't take my word for it. Becky and Norma will tell you all about that in the back half of the program. So we got so much going on, let's just go. Let's shift from first to second right away with the Wenatchee Valley. A little hazy. We do have some high pressure. It is big, and that haze is still from some of those fires that are just kind of smoldering up in the Lake Wenatchee area. They're not very big. They're less than 6,000 acres, but the smoke's got to go somewhere, and right now the smoke can't go anywhere because of high pressure. Last year at this time, in mid-September, we had a really bad air because of some wildfires and high pressure. It's a bad combination. That's why it's just a tad hazy from that view from the Wenatchee Heights camera overlooking the valley. Speaking of valley, Union Valley. A lot clearer up there. Well, it's farther away from the fire, so they can see a little brown haze at the middle of your screen. Union Valley camera is on the north shore of Lake Chelan, looking down towards the south shore of Lake Chelan, and with the possibility of record high temperatures this weekend, Chelan will be a cooking place indeed. A lot of people will be drawing to the water. Let's go out to the base and say good morning to Afreda. That big yellow thing is called the sun. It is the center of the galaxy, by the way, for those of you who are not informed about that. And the county seat of Grant County, Afreda. We greet you and say good morning to you. And finally, Hose Landing. Why that is not in color, I don't know. I've been to Hose Landing. I've seen those orchards. Those orchards are actually green. The water is actually blue. The mountains are actually green and brown and tan. The cameras, of course, when there's not enough light, they automatically switch to chromacone, and then when it gets, when it gets color enough, when it gets light enough, it turns to color. I don't know why it's in black and white, or maybe it is in black and white. Maybe that whole area is actually in black and white. I don't think so. Hose Landing on the Douglas County side of the river, pretty much right across from Aniat. I don't know how many viewers we have at Hose Landing. Probably not many, because nobody actually lives there. From the National Weather Service, as you look at the forecast, a couple of things to note. With our afternoon high above normal. We're back to me. Let's go ahead and do the forecast. So there you go, 84 our high today. It's going to be very nice indeed. In fact, we're going to go right through Sunday with high pressure. We'll bring dry weather. We need rain and warming temperatures. We're going to have warming temperatures. We're not going to have any rain. 84 today, close to 90 on Friday. And for references, the record high on Friday is 91. We're getting close to it. That was set back in 1995. The record high on Saturday was 92 degrees. That was set back in 1981. And we have a chance of getting to those records. I think maybe Saturday we may actually get close to that record high of 92 on Saturday. One more really nice sunny warm day, slightly cooler on Monday. We were hoping for a little bit of light rain at this time yesterday. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we are going to see finally a change in the weather, and it's going to start to feel more autumn-like. Now, keep in mind, we're down to the last, I think, 8.5 days of summer. I believe the solstice is on the 23rd this year. I will double check on that and get back to you later on. So there you go, sunny and warm. Very nice. Enjoy it while you can, because it ain't going to stay that way forever. Going to take a break, and then we'll have your headlines on a busy, busy Thursday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Friday, September 29th. Check out the reckless ones coming up from Los Angeles.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
As you can see, it was just a little hazy here in the Wenatchee Valley. 55 degrees here in the big city. We'll be into the 80s again today, gradually climbing up to into the lower 90s, we think, on Friday and Saturday. One more shot at Sunday. Significant cool down, actually even below normal temperatures by the middle of next week at 7 minutes after the hour. One of the 2 men involved in that fatal shooting in Wenatchee last year was sentenced Wednesday to 40 years in prison. Andrew Francis Morrow, he's 26 years old. He pled guilty in Chelan County Court to charges of vehicular homicide, drive-by shooting, and fleeing from police. He admitted opening fire in the April 2022 shooting that killed 21-year-old David Lomai Vasquez. Judge Travis Brandt assigned the sentence outlined in Morrow's plea agreement, which allowed the defendant to forego a trial for second-degree murder. His co-defendant, 24-year-old Benito Eduardo Lucia, is charged with murder and related criminal counts, as well as attempted murder for an alleged assault on a Chelan County jail officer. His trial date has not yet been set. A 24-year-old Leavenworth man is suspected of uploading child sex abuse material to another user on Snapchat. On Monday, Chelan County Sheriff's deputies arrested Cayman R. Matthews at his home, alleging that he twice shared child pornography across the social media service and kept similar material on his own electronic devices. The Chelan County Prosecutor's Office says it plans to file 7 felony charges against Matthews, who made his first appearance in Superior Court on Tuesday. A judge ordered him held in jail in lieu of a $450,000 bond. Already charged with fraudulently using an employer's credit card, a Chelan man is now charged with burglary in Douglas County and assault in Chelan County for allegedly spraying his partner and her young daughter with bear mace. Last year, William Henry Pruder III was charged with identity theft and related offenses when credit cards owned by his employer, Chelan Fruit, were illicitly used to buy $8,000 worth of home fixtures and lawn furniture. Pruder failed to appear for court. He's been sought on a warrant since November. In May, he allegedly attacked his partner and her child with mace at their home in Chelan, and Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say he was involved in a burglary last Friday of a home in McNeil Canyon. Well, he was finally arrested. They got him early the following morning. Pruder is now being held in the Chelan County Jail, bond at $122,000. Voting in the next election doesn't begin in over a month, but interest was high last night at the local Televent Center at the Pybus Puppet Market for a mayoral forum for the 2 candidates looking to replace Mayor Frank Kuntz after he steps down after 3 terms and 12 years. Brian Campbell and Mike Poyer are seeking the position. In the forum hosted by the Wenatchee World and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce, the two candidates took questions from the moderators and the public on a variety of topics, including their approach to homelessness in the city.
First of all, homeless is somebody's mom, dad, brother, sister, child. So these are human beings, so we need to take that in consideration. What's really nice about what's going on at this time, we're also on the verge that we're going to be able to help reduce homelessness here. What we had to set up was housing. We have 44 units going into South Wenatchee, and that will help with 88 people. Once we have that, we can look at different codes and we can look at codes. We can also look at ways to, because now we have adequate housing for homeless, and now we can actually help with some of our laws and help with being able to transform some of these people into better quality of life.
A lot of these people have come from out of the area, and they tell me the reason they've come here is because we have such good services. And we are a very compassionate community. We need to take care of everyone. We can't put them aside and forget about them. And the government tends to spend a bunch of money and kind of get them out of sight, out of mind, but that doesn't get them back into being productive members of society. So we really need to focus on rehabilitation and getting people back into the community and working and paying taxes. And so, yeah, the homelessness problem has become huge. There's several businesses I've talked to, they've had vandalism, they had urinating on the street, all of those kinds of things. So we've got to tackle the homeless issue, and we do have a task force in place, and we're working hard on that. And Mike?
Chelan County agreed on a Tuesday to update the way it verifies signature ballots in order to settle a lawsuit that was filed by Hispanic voters who said their ballots were disproportionately thrown out in recent elections. Both Chelan and Benton counties were sued in federal court in 2021, with the plaintiffs saying ballots filled out by Hispanic voters were discarded due to alleged mismatched signatures at a rate of 3 to 6 times that of other voters. Chelan County Commissioners signed off yesterday on a settlement agreement to end the suit. Among the terms, Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore will require regular signature verification training for his election employees, as well as cultural competency training. Starting in 2024, ballots will also include required language that describes the signature verification process, and the county will pay $150,000 for attorney's fees for the plaintiffs. However, the settlement does not admit to any wrongdoing on the part of Chelan County. That's the news at 13 minutes after the hour. It's been a busy news week. It's September. Things get busy. A lot of things are happening. It'll be a busy news day today, and you can get caught up in the loop on what's going on in the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington by watching the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. If those times don't work for you for television, or as we like to say in the business, TV, you can always watch it via the World Wide Web. We'll have our news up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. And get a hold of us if you are inclined to get a hold of us. When we come back, Mariners win a matinee affair against the Angels. They continue to fight for that division championship. Highlights of the Wildcats and the Panthers and girls soccer and more. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
14 minutes after the hour, the Mariners grabbed the finale of their 3-game set with the Angels. It was an afternoon affair. Final was 3-2, just enough offense. Louis Castillo pitched just well enough to get his 13th win, and Cal Raleigh provided another memorable defensive play with a walk-off caught stealing to end the game.
Line, left field, is it high enough? It bangs off the wall. Rojas is in to score, Crawford to third, and Julio parks in at second base. 99 driven in this year by Julio Rodriguez, and he ties the game at 1. Well, he barrels follows this up. There aren't too many hitters there, and I was with you on that. That ball's down too, just like the home run he hit the other night. They can hit it that low and still have enough carry on it. It ends up hitting in the middle of the wall.
The Angels through next year as Drury lines one down the left field line, a base hit. Neto was running on the pitch. He gets to third. He's being waved home. He will score easily as that ball hit the sidewall and just died on the outfield grass.
Into right field, it's a base hit. Ty France is being waved in. Phillips to throw to the plate. It is in time. The tag is late. France scores, and this game is tied. It's down out of the strike zone. That's a curveball, and Cal is able to dig it out and hit the line drive into right. Strong throw by Phillips in right field. It was there in plenty of time. Catcher had a little tough time getting back to the plate, and that's why Ty was able to get his hand in there. A BB, and it's off the glove of Drury, and the Mariners have taken the lead. Teoscar Hernandez smokes one up the middle. It scores Julio. It's a 3-2 Mariners lead in the bottom of the fifth inning. Topa's 2-2. No, instead, off the bag. JP's got him, running Adams down. Gino pops the tag on him, and he's out. Yeah, perfect timing on this spin move. Gino clearly tags him. Phillips will move up to second base. That's a big out. Phillips takes off. Cal's throw. He got him! A walk-off caught stealing. Cal with the hose. Bill Duffin's going to have him take a look at it.
Los Angeles is challenging the out call at second base.
All right, get ready to celebrate.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out.
Afterwards, Jen Mueller from Root Sports Northwest got a chance to chit-chat with the Big Dumper.
Cal, that was a gutsy play. How confident do you have to be to make that throw to second?
Yeah, you know, I've been throwing it well lately and just try to put the throw as close as I can to the bag and let JP do the rest.
Why do I sound more excited than you sound about that play?
I'm a little tired today.
You do deserve a day off. When you've got that series of events in the fifth inning, were you expecting that, the intentional walk to Julio and then the pitching change?
No, I wasn't expecting that, but you know, I've faced that guy a few times, and he's had my number, and you know, just looking to try to help the team out, try to get a run in, and Ty, geez, he's really slow, but he got in barely.
But when you've got a runner in scoring position, you still have great numbers from the left side of the plate. How does that change that at bat?
Yeah, just try not to do too much. You know, I don't need the 3-run homer to get the run in, try to keep the game close, try to tie it back up, and Teo came in clutch after me as well.
Mariners have a much-needed day off today. Tigers coming to town, T-Mobile Park, first of 3 games Friday night on Root Sports Northwest. Mariners won, so the Astros and, well, the Rangers, they all won, as a matter of fact. Houston knocked off the A's 6-2. Jordan Montgomery of the Rangers and 2 relievers combined in a 5-hit shutout of the Blue Jays in Toronto. The Rangers win 10-0. So Texas is a game back of Houston in the division. Seattle a game and a half back. But Toronto's loss to Texas gives Seattle the 3rd wildcard playoff spot all by itself. We're on the right side of that line. We like that. And by the way, the Yankees and the Red Sox rained out again. They hope to make it up today as part of a doubleheader. Seahawks heading to Detroit Sunday, taking on the Lions. Of course, Detroit upset the defending Super Bowl champions last week, and Coach Pete Carroll says they're probably flying a little high.
Big op for them to come back home, you know, opening game and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a real challenge environment, which is great. We need to get in those situations and see how to handle the noise and how to handle just the you know, the ruckus of it all. So it's a really good matchup for us coming up. We need hard ones, we need tough ones, and so here they come. It's a good balanced football team. The way they play and their style, Coach Campbell's done a great job getting these guys rolling, and they got a really good format to them. So we're getting our game tuned in, and we've got to get ready to play a really good football game for 4 quarters. You know, we looked last week, first half was one way and second half was another way, and so we have to finish better than we did. So
Seahawks and Lions, 10 a.m. Sunday morning. You can watch that game if you want on Fox or not. It's a free country. The Wildcats and the Panthers met in another classic girls soccer game in the Apple Bowl last night. Wenatchee jumped to a 1-0 lead in the first half. Natalie Bowles scored a goal in the 19th minute, but Eastmont would counter with 2 goals in the second to win it 2-1. Sebastian Maraga and Matt Weiser with the call right here on the NCW Live channel.
And I started going through the rosters, and there was a last name that I couldn't pronounce, and I said out loud, what kind of last name is this? I'll tell you more in a second, because here comes Wenatchee, the show. Go, 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 go! Wenatchee Panthers take the lead. Natalie Bowles. There's a quick run into the box. Chandler shot across. Go, 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 go! Eastmont ties it up in a brilliant, lightning quick counterattack. There's a touch. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! How did that find Mick Chandler all alone, Matt Wisen? All alone. Yeah. You were talking about Eastmont ball watching. That was exactly what the back line of Wenatchee got caught doing.
No, I agree. Just stepped up into that hole and fed the ball. And she's like, all right, if no one else is going to play it, I might as well put a foot on it and see what happens. And
Martinez, the touchback for Burgess. And there's the whistle that says that Eastmont crossed the river and takes a big victory over their arch rivals from Wenatchee by a final score of 2-1.
It's huge. It's huge in our growth and our progress. I mean, hitting adversity early, and kind of what I liked that I saw was they didn't necessarily put their heads down. They knew it was a mistake, that we kind of gave them that opportunity, and they just kept playing. Both teams kept playing. It was a great soccer match to watch.
I think we truly just wanted it more. We were down first half, and I think in the locker room we got a big talk by our coach, and I think just as a team we decided that we were going to show up and we were not going to go home defeated.
One other final from the pitch last night in the smaller schools, it was OMAC bouncing Liberty Bell 5-1. Coming up today, it's Chelan hosting Brewster. Pateras visits OMAC, and Alfredo will host Sela. On the pitch in volleyball, scores: Kashmir took down Quincy, Okanagan swept Cascade, OMAC over Liberty Bell, and Antioch topped Moses Lake Christian. Busy schedule tonight. You got Cascade hosting East Valley, Pateras visits Easton. You got Quincy at Natchez Valley, Lake Roosevelt hosts Bridgeport, Liberty Bell travels to Oroville, Manson takes on Tenasket. At 7, you got Chelan at Ellensburg, Eastmont hosts Moses Lake, and Sunnyside is at Wenatchee. And everybody out of the pool, it is kids swim. Today, Wenatchee at West Valley, Eastmont's at Moses Lake, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 23 minutes after the hour, perhaps my favorite sandwich. I like a BLT, but I really like a hoagie, too. Today is Eat a Hoagie Day, associated with Philadelphia. There are about 9 different stories about how the hoagie came to be, but all of them have one thing in common: Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But ironically enough, even though I love a good hoagie, it is not the most popular sandwich in America. The #1 most popular sandwich, the ham sandwich, and #2 is the BLT, but I'll take a hoagie any day of the week. Today is National Eat a Hoagie Day today. I shall do my best to partake. Today in history, the British Empire said, well, we're going to go ahead and adopt the Gregorian calendar, and by doing that, we have to eliminate 11 days, and on this day, they did eliminate 11 days. So if you had a birthday from September 3rd to September 13th, you didn't get a birthday. Yeah, it was September 2nd, and then the next day, it was September 14th. These are the things that you have to do when you adopt a calendar. So 11 days just skipped, gone altogether. Sorry, folks, if you had a birthday or a significant day. That day, you'll have to wait until 1753. And 3 baseball things to talk about. 2 really cool. 1, not so much. On this date in 1990, 33 years ago today, for the first time in baseball history, back-to-back home runs by Dad and his kid. It went something like this.
Well, he's helping it inch back up there now. Well hit to center field. Devon White going back. Gone! A 2-run home run.
And he
can still hit anybody's fastball.
An instantaneous 2-0 Seattle lead. And he hits one well to left center field. Dante Bichette. Back-to-back home runs.
What else can these guys do?
That's pretty cool. By the way, they lost the game. On this date in 1991, 32 years ago today, and think about this, of all the baseball games that they played at Milwaukee County Stadium, the Braves played there, the Brewers, of course, played there for many, many years, from 1970 to 2001, but only one person ever actually hit the ball out, entirely out of County Stadium. It has to go 520 feet to get it out of the stadium. Cecil Fielder hit it 521 feet. Here it is.
It started out to be a cool rainy day. They had a big party out in the parking lot. Oh, whoa, look at this. Forget it. That might be out of the whole stadium. It may be. It is. It went out of everywhere, right on over the top. Cecil Fielder with a monstrous 41st home run. Cecil hits another one to get 2 away from him. I was mentioning it to Larry. Ball went out of the ball yard, Sparky, so he can't believe it. He's pointing over to the Milwaukee dugout. The big man clobbered that one, didn't he? Clobbered. Take another look at it. He gets all of it. It's up high, and the wind is blowing right to left. There's a young fellow out there in a green cap, tries to catch it right there, and he doesn't quite get it. And
Gary Schumacher from Madison, Wisconsin, was at the game, but he had to leave when Cecil Fielder came up to the plate because he had to drive back to Madison, Wisconsin to go to work the next day. He was leaving the parking lot and he heard a bang, didn't really think about it. He looked around, he was okay, he kept driving. He got close to Madison, pulled over to get some gasoline, looked in the bed of his pickup truck, Gary did, and there was the baseball. The baseball landed in the bed of Gary's pickup truck, and he drove the baseball unknowingly from Milwaukee to Madison, Wisconsin. And finally, 29 years ago today, a dark day in the world of Dan Kuntz. Just read it. It's all self-explanatory. There would be no World Series in 1994. 27 minutes after the hour, birthdays. Larry Brown, the only coach in basketball history to win a national championship. He did it with Kansas, the Jayhawks, in 1988. And in the NBA, won the world championship with the Pistons in 2004. And he's the only coach in NBA history to lead 8 different franchises to the playoffs. He's considered one of the greatest basketball coaches ever. Larry Brown is 83 years old today. Happy birthday to Sam Neill, Jurassic Park and Other Things. He was pretty good in the recent Jurassic Park movie I saw. Still looking good at 76. And happy birthday to Melinda Thomas, also known as Wendy Thomas. And yes, it's her face as a little kid that you see on the sign at Wendy's. Her name was Melinda. She couldn't pronounce her own name, so everybody started calling her Wendy, the daughter of Dave and Lorraine Thomas. And by the way, Wendy Thomas owns about 30 Wendy's restaurants. Happy birthday. She's 55 years old today. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. We visit with our good friends Becky and Norma from Cancer Care of NCW. They got a big party planned on Saturday to celebrate their 30th anniversary. But first things first, Henley the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
Hi, I'm Coralie with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Coordinator here. And this handsome boy is Henley. Henley, you want to look at the camera? No? Come here. Henley is a 4-year-old Belgian Malinois. For those of you who don't know, Malinois are highly prized police dogs. They have a very high level of intelligence and are really protective and, especially in this guy's case, really sweet. He's really snuggly, and he's actually, might be because of his age, but he's really has a balanced energy about him. Like, he is active and he wants to play and walk and run with you. He's really polite with other dogs, which is wonderful, and just just an all-over joy for us to have here. He came to us as a stray, so we don't know a heck of a lot about him, but from what we do know, we think that he would be a really great member of your family. He would love to go on hikes and walks and impress you with his tricks. We do suggest that if you want to bring Henley into your family, that you have a fence because he's very agile and he always wants to be doing something. If you'd like to come by and give Henley some belly scratches, we are open from 11 till 6, Thursday through Tuesday.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Renaissance artist Michelangelo. Now, come on, that man, he was an incredible genius, and his sculptures are nothing short of miraculous. Good grief. Thinking of him often makes me wonder, where are the similar geniuses of today? You know, I have to admit, among others, I think Pete Townsend of The Who is one. Really. I mean, despite his drinking, drugging, and libertine lifestyle, which actually, frankly, puts him in the company of other artistic geniuses, his creation of the rock opera Tommy, as well as many of his other works, puts him right up there. Now, Alan Turing, the father of the theoretical science that broke the Nazi naval Enigma code, is certainly another. And another one of my favorites, a comic genius, Steve Harvey of Family Feud. Oh, come on, that guy is incredible. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, maybe not as genius as Michelangelo, but genius in a different way. Steve Harvey. Gotcha, dude. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, owner at Springwater Insurance Group. And at Springwater Insurance Group, we are your Medicare nerds because we're continuously studying Medicare rules so our clients are up to date. One of the publications we study is called Choosing a Medigap Policy. And Chapter 3 is my favorite because it discusses how to change your coverage with no health questions asked of you. Because we've learned nobody wants health questions. So give us nerds a call at Springwater Insurance Group for all your Medicare questions. 509-888-2600.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Anytime I get a chance to get out of the office and interview a couple of smoking hot babes, I'm all over that, folks. And by golly, mission accomplished today. We're in the courtyard of our house, and by our house, I don't mean my house or even their house, in a sense. It is the place where people need to go when the big C comes a-calling. Ladies, introduce yourselves again to our television audience because we haven't seen you in a while.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah. My name is Becky Elwell, and I am the house manager here at our house.
Oh, and I'm Norma Scoville, and I'm the current board president of Cancer Care of North Central Washington. And
Norma watches the show every day, so we really like Norma. We like her a lot.
Oh, you know it.
It's a milestone for you kids. 30th year, way back. Was it 1992? I want to say
93.
93. It was Betsy and Kate, and help me out. 3 people got
Mary
together.
Lowe.
Mary Lowe. And before we get into the nuts and bolts of what's going on this weekend, let's go back 30 years and talk about how our house and Cancer Care's NCW came to be.
Well, I think it's,
and either one of you can do
yeah, it really started with Cancer Care. Started by Kate Brantner. I think, don't you think she was the one that really?
It sounds to me that she was because she had been she was a cancer survivor herself, and she knew that people needed some support, and so she and Betsy connected, and Betsy said, you know, we need a place for cancer patients to stay. Let's put our heads together and see if we can come up with something. And that's apparently what happened. So when you had those 3 angels, Mary Lowe, who was a brain cancer survivor, they came together because they had that fervor and that drive. We've got to do this. We've got to do it now. And they made it happen. And one of the things that sticks in my mind is we talked to Ray Taylor, who was the executive director of the Community Foundation, and he says, I remember the day Betsy came into my office. I'd never met her before, and she said, I need $40,000 by the end of the week. And he says,
it sounds like Betsy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, because you told me, you said nobody says no to Betsy, right?
No,
you just couldn't. There was no way.
And it was so, I mean, it was a beautiful thing that happened there, and by golly, however, whatever strings were pulled or communications made, man, it happened. And so it was born then.
Yes.
Yes, and you were here when you started volunteering, and go for that.
Yeah, that's how I actually got started as a volunteer, because no one could say no to Betsy. I mean, it was just the things that she was a mover and a shaker. She really got things done. And I started volunteering, and then in '96, Betsy asked if I would be the house manager here. And, you know, I've been here ever since. I just love this job. As difficult as it is for those going through cancer, I think this is just a wonderful place. They take a step through that door, and it's the next best thing to home for them when they're going through such a difficult time.
And it should be pointed out, and this, I can't stress this enough, when the time comes, the diagnosis is here, and you live within the footprint of Confluence Health, you're going to need treatment regardless of how aggressive or unaggressive it is. If you live outside of the greater Wenatchee area, what are you going to do? Get in a car, drive down for 2 hours, do your treatment, and come back? This is a place for those folks who
live within the North Central Washington area, but down to the Wenatchee Valley for a place to stay.
Yes,
And
it
that's
is.
the most, that's is critical, isn't it?
It really is, and I know that was Betsy's goal, is to find a place for these patients that she was seeing. She was an oncology nurse at the time, and she saw the stress and strain it was for people to try to figure out, what am I going to do for 6 to 8 weeks. I can't drive back and forth from Oroville or Omak
Or
every
have somebody
day.
do it for you.
Right, and that was difficult to find too. And so it was just like,
The need was there.
the need was there, and she really is the one that got the ball rolling, you know. I mean, she just really gathered people together that really had a heart for doing something like this, and a lot of them were cancer survivors or had a loved one that was going through cancer. So they just really came together, and this
you're
house
still
was
here.
born.
30
and
years
we're
later, and
still
here we are.
Here.
You're still here.
I
And
was thinking of that today.
Yeah, isn't it incredible? And to add on to what you've said, we know the need is great. That with cancer patients, there are various needs that come, and so our social services program has grown immensely. And we have Lynn Stearns to thank for really heading that up. And there are needs that could be seemingly small to someone. I mean, they may need a gas card, they may need food, they may need an air conditioner. I mean, there are so many varied needs that come across. So we have expanded our program thousands of dollars to be able to help more cancer patients, not only in the outlying areas, but also locally right here in town. And many grants have been written, so we've been able to do that, but we still are looking for the support from our local community to be able to sustain that social services aspect too, because the need is there. And we found that with COVID, you know, there were setbacks various times over that couple of years, but also people were not seeking medical attention. They might have had something to address, but they let it go because you know how difficult it was to even make an appointment.
Oh, it'll get better.
It'll go away. And so that was another spurring of our social services program. And we're finding it is, what would you call it? It's not skyrocketing, but it's gathering.
It's soaring.
It's really something that we are looking at as another program, because you know, our house is a program of cancer care of North Central Washington. Social services is another program, and work well together. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Becky, for hanging in there.
You mentioned Betsy. We're still talking about her.
I know.
We lost her many, many years ago. Yeah, here we are still talking about her. She's doing great. Trust me on that.
She would be so happy to see what's happening.
As you mentioned before, and none of this really happened. You guys have been working hand in hand with Confluence all these years, because it's very much a partnership. Because Confluence doesn't have a legal obligation to take care of their patients beyond a certain amount, but yet they are working with you guys and have been from the very get-go. We're going to tackle the big C. We're going to go after it the best we can, and these folks here on Castle Rock are going to take care of the things that you don't need to worry about. It's a hand-in-hand partnership.
Yes,
Oh, definitely so. Boy, we really appreciate that too, because the networking that comes along with that, with the physicians seeing their patients and letting them know about cancer care in our house. Also the social workers they're also on board. And so when you get that whole circle of support, I mean, think about it. A person goes in, gets a diagnosis of cancer, something they weren't planning on, like what? And so getting that guidance is so important. And I think this is all part of the process. If we can help, we are going to do that. That's what we're here for.
Before we get to talk about Saturday, and that's really what we're here for, how do you know, and I'll let each of you answer this question, how do you know you're making a difference? How do you know that when the day is done and you go to your regular lives, that what's happening here at our house in Cancer Care is making a difference? How do you quantify success in your organization?
I think when you see how relieved people are when they discover us, when they walk through the door and they look around and they have compassionate people here that are going to just help them get through the day. It's just amazing. I'd say you know that you're doing a good thing when the people you're helping are so so thankful for the house, for the people that they're surrounded by, for other guests of the house. I mean, these are people that come together with a similar diagnosis, and they have their support system here. It's just amazing to see that.
And maybe the fact that you've been here for over 25 years might, in and of itself.
Yeah, she's an original.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that is what makes me, you know, feel like it's so worthwhile. What we're doing here does make a difference in people's lives. And when they leave, I've had some people that maybe are living alone and they've come together and met people here, and it's really difficult for them to let go. You know, they have formed such a bond, and several people will still stay connected to those that they've met at the house. They've become friends, and it means so much to them.
It is. And you know what? There's that joy. You know, you can't to put it into words and to grab it, but you feel it. You feel the joy here. And can I relay a circumstance that happened in the parking lot back here?
Sure, I love stories.
Oh my gosh.
They don't even have to be true.
This lady pulls up, right? And we're just back there trying to sort stuff out down in the garage. And she said, well, first of all, and this is so typical, where's Becky? And Becky had just gone in for whatever. And so we said, oh, can we help you? And she said, you know, I was a guest here as a patient guest 16 years ago.
Well, there's a success story right there that we were just talking about.
Right there, And she opens up her trunk, and there was so much food in there that she was donating. And she just looked at us and smiled and said, where can I put it?
I know.
It was fabulous. Oh my gosh.
Those are the stories.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
it's just,
to me the essence of when I mean, it's pure joy. Yeah, it's a great thing.
For a lot of people, food can be purchased with money, which is why we're going to talk about Saturday. Walk me through everything that's going to be happening down at Pybus Public Market on Saturday, and I'll let either one of you
we'll
start that process.
chime in. We chime in with each other. We're used to that, right?
Yeah.
We're great chimers, At any rate, so this has been in the planning for over a year. We knew the 30th anniversary of Cancer Care was coming up, and 30 years is quite a milestone. So what do we do, right? So we came up with many ideas, but what really stood out was having an event where the community would be invited. And that we found was probably the most appropriate place was the Pybus Local Tel Event Center. Went over and looked at it, and it was really great, and we felt the size was appropriate. And so we are going to have a celebration of the 30 years, and it's going to be a very welcoming, community-free event. We ask that people RSVP if they would like to come, because we know that the space accommodation, we have to be mindful of that. So if indeed people want to come, and we invite you, please, you can do it online. It's cancercarencw.com, or call Becky. That's probably even better. 509-663-6964. I got it. Yeah, and so go ahead.
And you got some great speakers. Dr. Nick has been on the show. I believe Dr. Notter has been on the show. We mentioned Betsy Tautini. Jeff will be speaking as well to talk about this. That's the thing that you need to RSVP to. That's going to be inside the local television.
Yes. So we'll have a short program, probably about 2:30 to maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes, and that's where the speakers will be sharing their wonderful feelings. Dr. David Notter is also going to be speaking, and he and Betsy work together, so he has a lot of insight there. And so they're extraordinary speakers. I think they're really connected to what happens here, the people here, when it started. And so given that, we're just, you'll see displays also, you'll see the historical aspects, the pictures, you'll see volunteer opportunities, the open doors where people can say, hey, I might want to volunteer at this place, because we would love to have new volunteers, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And that way it's kind of a rejuvenation of that after, you know, we've had some volunteers that have been with us for 30 years, and then others are newbies, but yeah, we need more. We really do need more. And we're also going to be there will be, as I said, it's a free event, but it'll be informational. We have the 30 for 30th campaign where this year we're asking people to either tell 30 friends about cancer care or to volunteer 30 hours here at the house, or possibly donate $30 a month for a year, adding up to $360. And we were hoping to raise $30,000. We're halfway to our goal. You'll see information on that, should anybody be interested. And so, yeah, it's going to be a celebration. That's what we're looking at. It's going to be something that we are happy to share.
Yes.
Also, we will have music. We have some pretty doggone good musicians. And if you're watching, Glenn Isaacson, thank you. Thank you for your piano. It was quite a pursuit. He can't be there, but his piano is going to be there.
And it should be pointed out, if this wasn't enticing enough, if you've ever walked through a giant interactive inflatable colon,
yes,
you gotta come. Talk about the walk and all that cool stuff.
You get to
We're running out of time, ladies. So talk about the walk at 12 noon.
Okay. Okay. The walk starts at 12 noon, goes to 2. It's a collaborative effort with Confluence Health. It's going to be really great. We have different tents that will be set up, and they all focus on different types of cancer. It's interactive, where we have signage put up where people can go to the QR code, right? And they are able to get more information. You'll see right there.
Let me hold this up while you talk.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. And it's interactive so that people can get more information. It's great. It really is. The best part, too, one of the best parts of the walk is they have, they come to the walkers table when they first come to the walk. They get a little card, and it's a stamped card. So when they stop at each one of those tables, it'll be stamped. And guess what? They come back to the walkers table when they're done with the walk. They drop that card with their name on it. They get a little gift bag there already because they did all those wonderful, they stopped at every table and learned things. But they get put in a drawing, and Confluence is providing a wonderful gift basket. So anybody who does the walk, goes to the tables, gets their card stamped, and they get their card into the box before the drawing. It will be during the program. That's the way to get included. It's really good. And so...
and I'm told the prize, according to my notes, is $25,000, and that's really... It's like, I'm sorry, that's my next interview today. I'm sorry.
Okay, great. Well,
I wasn't looking at my notes correctly.
We'll put that in Dr. Nick Coomer's hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I just wanted to say that, one of the, you mentioned 2 speakers. Dr. Coomer is the 3rd speaker, and he was really instrumental in kind of the walk, really.
Yes,
I mean,
he came forward. He's a board member, and he felt compelled, and he has been a charm. He has definitely
and being
made
a
this happen.
gastroenterologist, he must be the one who figured out where to get a giant inflatable colon.
Well, he is actually one of the radiation oncologists. Yes. But he came up with that.
He could be the gastro guy that day too. And you know what? We have people that are just so really excited to walk through that. You walk through it. It's a 10 by 12.
That's a big colon.
It's a huge colon, and it has given us a lot of problems, but we are baited an opportunity. And so if you want to come walk through that colon, you need to come to this event.
Yeah. We're almost out of time. Last question, and we'll cut you loose. Again, everything is Saturday. The walk starts at noon, and the program inside at the local Event Center afterwards. Just go to the Google Cancer Care NCW. It's all there. Last question before we cut you loose. How can we help you from this point forward? Because I don't want this momentum, like, it's all over. We had a great time with the walk. It was a great program. And now everybody go back to mow their lawn. How do we keep this momentum going? How do we help you?
Well, I believe just getting the word out there and letting people know that this place exists. And I think with our social services emphasis that we have, I think that's where we need to get the word out, that the support is needed to continue with these programs. And so that's what I'm thinking. How about
I think
you?
so too. Yeah, that is.
And anytime you see your friends, say, have you driven down Castle Rock lately? And they say, yeah. And maybe then it'll ring a bell.
Have fun on Saturday. That may be the most important thing, is to have fun.
Yeah, that's right.
It's truly fun. Yes.
And thanks for letting us come here into your beautiful Prairie Yard instead of our studio.
Oh man, well, you know what? We speak for many people here, not only the board, but for all the volunteers. and the donors too, the people who support this place for 30 years. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have fun on Saturday, all right?
Oh, we will.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and keep watching the show. I'll do better tomorrow, I promise.
Friday, I can't wait.
We'll be right back.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction is not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen schließen.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Beautiful morning, the kind of morning you can hang your hat on. In fact, real quick, temperatures, we haven't moved at all. It was 55 degrees when this show started at 7 o'clock. It's still 55. It's a little cool, actually. It's in the 40s in Manson. It's only 45 in Manson. But we're not done with summer yet. The autumnal equinox, I have it right here on my computer, is 1 week from tomorrow, Friday, September 22nd, at 11:49 in the evening is the autumnal equinox. Now, right now, today, we're going to have 12 hours and 38 minutes of daylight, 12 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. So we're going to lose about a half an hour of daylight over the course of the next week. We're going to start seeing it pretty dramatically, about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes a day less each day as we get towards the autumnal equinox, which reminds me, because we do it every time we have an equinox and a solstice, which happens to be 4 times a year, we'll be visiting with our good friend Bonnie Orr. We'll be visiting with Bonnie up at Omi Gardens, and we'll be airing that interview next week. We got a whole bunch of really good stuff for you next week as well. And quick programming reminder, the Bridge of Sportsmanship game is tomorrow night between the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats. Leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. Grant and Eric with the call. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. But it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful night at Leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. If you can't make it to the game, and we always encourage people to go in person, you can always watch it in high definition and stereophonic sound right here on the NCW Live channel. From the National Weather Service, beautiful stretch of weather, 84. Our forecast high today, we hit 80 on Tuesday, we hit 80 on Wednesday, going to be a little bit warmer today. 54 for the overnight low. We're going to up the ante by a couple of degrees anyway on Friday with a high of 87. For the record high on Saturday, the 16th, is 92 degrees. That was set back in 1981. We're going to be close to that, I think, on Saturday. Certainly in the lower 90s anyway. We'll do it again on Sunday. Very warm for this time of the year. And then the weather pattern will shift Sunday night into Monday, bringing cooler temperatures, especially in the overnight hours, and more autumn-like weather. That's it for us. Have a great Thursday. Start your weekend with us tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.
Today we're at a dude ranch out west, where you can practice your riding skills and see what it takes to be a cowboy for a day. That's me, Elizabeth, and today my friend Rob Pinkston joins me at a cattle ranch in Nevada. We'll get all duded up and wrangle the herd. Learn to drive on the range.
Here we go. Good. Excellent. Excellent.
Lasso some dummy cows. And pick up a few skills. This is going to be awesome, and you're coming with us. So grab your hat and boots, and let's hit the trail.
It's look quite nice, especially with your Converse.
I tried to style it up a little bit.
Tennis shoes and chaps go great together.
It's a little bit of country, a little bit rock and roll.
All right.
That's right.
Welcome to Elizabeth Stanton's great big world of Cowboy for a Day.